Israeli army says troops also located and destroyed a tunnel used by fighters in the area. 3 people have been killed in the West Bank in the last 24 hours. Charles Stratford was outside the camp, where a clean-up operation is now underway.
You join us on the edge of the refugee camp here in Jenin. I'll just ask Marino, our cameraman, to pan round and show you the level of destruction caused here. This was caused by one of those military-grade bulldozers that the Israeli military used to such devastating effect during these raids. And there doesn't seem to be, certainly according to the locals that we've spoken to in this neighbourhood, there doesn't seem to be any reason why this should have happened. They're saying that there were no clashes, there were no kids throwing stones. It was literally, according to them, a bulldozer came in here and started ripping up this road. Of course, this is often called, by rights organisations, by the Palestinians themselves, a form of collective punishment. Some people are even saying that it's a bid by the Israeli military to try and turn the civilian population against the armed resistance groups that are in this town. Jenin has long been one of the centres, if not the centre now, for the armed resistance groups from various different factions, and you see the men walking around the streets, now increasingly less during daylight, because these raids have become so much more frequent, so much more intense over the last few weeks since the beginning of the war on Gaza. According to the hospital here, there were at least 3 people killed in last night's raid, at least 11 people in hospital with injuries, 2, we understand, in a critical condition. But there were also talks of airstrikes here on Jenin. Now, we've seen IDF, the Israeli army, have released pictures of these airstrikes. To be clear, these are what seem to be targeted drone strikes, using small but very deadly and very effective explosive devices and targeting individuals in and amongst the small streets that make up the camp. That's not to say that there haven't been larger airstrikes using drones here previously. In the previous couple of weeks, there was a mosque that was taken out and a number of people killed in that attack. But yeah, the basic top line is that this stuff, these kind of raids now on Jenin and various other towns across the West Bank, are increasing in frequency and increasing in intensity as well. So yeah, there is a lot of tension here, a lot of fear amongst the civilian population. A civilian population, of course, that has suffered the rigours, have suffered the pressures, have suffered the dangers of the occupation for decades. And in the build-up to the war, this place was very much, Jenin was very much the focus of attention by the Israeli army as it tried to take out the very many fighters that are in this town. But as I say, things have got a lot worse since the beginning of the war, and we can fully expect that we're going to be seeing more raids, more destruction, more arrests and more deaths in towns like this in the days to come.
Make sure to subscribe to a channel to the latest news from RDZ World News.